Welcome to your AEW Rampage review with your boy Ryan, and we back at it again. You know what it is. Earlier you had me on Dynamite Review, and Jeff joined us a little later in the day in the review. So here we are with our Rampage review, and you know what it is. Your boy getting to it. Solo. Let's get it. Before I get into it, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff to the channel. On YouTube, watch us on Twitch. But definitely follow us on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube, all that good stuff. You get all this wrestling content for AEW and nothing but AEW. So let's get into it. First match was Sammy Guevara taking on Andrade El Idolo in a phenomenal match. This show did not disappoint as always. They did their thing. Had a very well put together match. And at the end of the day, your boy Sammy comes out on top, but not without some great back and forth. Andrade had some good hits in. They did a Spanish fly off the top rope, which looked beautiful. But it took Guevara a few seconds to get over to cover him because of how high they were. He was already injured prior to from Andrade just beating him up. Did a springboard cutter for the win, which looked beautiful. Just drove Andrade's head right into the ground. But what was the interesting part of this match is Andrade had Sammy for the win, and what looked like a Matt Hardy pushing off of the foot, or Matt Hardy was late on the push off of the foot, or was late on the hold down of the foot. So Jericho sort of, well, wait, was he holding it down or was he pushing it? And you had Taz and Excalibur saying, oh, no, he was trying to push. He looked like he was pushing his foot off. And then went back to the replay and showed it. And it just kind of looked like he just got there a little late. But I think, like we talked about on our Rampage or Dynamite review, we talked about before on our Dark Elevation review of the YouTubes, that they're building to this for Jeff Hardy to debut next 2 Wednesdays. So not next Wednesday, Wednesday after. So the Wednesday after the fallout of Revolution. So, which, by the way, the Revolution card is stacked. It's going to be another 3-hour pay-per-view or more. Still excited for it, but I mean, listen, if you're going to pay money to watch it, then I get why you put in 3 hours. It's like, why am I going to spend all this money for 2 hours of basically television on a pay-per-view? Even though the caliber of the matches are way higher, so I understand it. So the card is stacked. There's going to be a lot of matches here. But so they're playing off of Matt Hardy pushing off or holding down Andrade's foot. So there's that play. But like before that, when Andrade was in the corner trying to take the thing off of the corner, Matt Hardy went to this side and took it off. And then that's how then Andrade smashed his head on that and then got hit with the cutter off the thing. So, I mean, there's all these hints and possibilities about, where these things are going and where we're turning Matt Hardy out of the AHFO and may just make it the AHO. At the end of the day, at the Andrade AFO, Andrade Family Office, the H Hardy. But, we'll see where that plays in. Then after the match, he gets attacked by Matt Hardy, and Sammy Guevara gets attacked by Matt Hardy, and Isaiah is standing in the ring. Darby flies down, dives through the ropes, dives into the ring, dives through the ropes, and just takes out Hardy. Isaiah's on top inside the ring, looking down at what's going on. Sting came down behind him, and he just beat up Isaiah. Hit him with a punch. Just one punch to the face, knocked him down. Darby goes up for the coffin drop, talking about the tornado tag match that they have at the pay-per-view next Sunday. So that's just showing and building to that match, which will probably be, I'm assuming, a pre-show match. If this really hasn't been built to anything, you really don't need this match, so why not just make it a pre-show match? Maybe make more people watch the pre-show. That's my only thoughts on why they did that. Then before the Nick Camarano Wardlow match, QT Marshall, John Blank, sorry. QT Marshall called out Hook. He said, send for Hook. He's nothing. I'll stretch him out in front of your father. Hook obviously comes out. He goes, he's not coming out. His music hits. Hook comes out, standing at the top of the ramp. And as you know, QT always has something up his sleeve. He had a bunch of the Nightmare Factory guys run out and attack Hook, and Hook beat all of them up. He beat 2 guys up to the ground, then put Red Rum on one of the other guys. And then the fourth guy, so I want to say it was 4 guys, the fourth guy that was there looked at QT and was like, I'm not doing that, and runs away. And Hook stands on top of the ring like, what? On the ramp. It says, what? And QT is like, oh, crap. And then Hook just walks off because he's just badass. And that's what they're playing him off of, and it's how they're playing him off, and it's working great. It was a great little segment. And then we go to commercial break, come right back, and Wardlow and Nick Comoroto are right in the ring, standing there fighting. Now, these 2 guys were going at it. They put on a really good match. You had them each countering each other. Comoroto did, I want to say it was a suplex, and Wardlow jumped up out of that. Then Comoroto did, and Wardlow hit him, and it was just back and forth. Wardlow did a kick up off of the suplex. I was right, okay. And then he took right control of the match, and he has his own throw onto Comoroto. Comoroto gets up. They do back and forth into the corner. Wardlow and Nick Comoroto got out onto the floor because Wardlow suplexed him out of the ring was the next part of it. That's what it was. He lifted him up, suplexed him out of the ring, and this is when they went to commercial break, but you could see what was going on. And Aaron Solo comes like in to distract Wardlow a little bit, which then Nick Comoroto takes advantage of that and slams Wardlow into the stairs and hits his back on it. Comoroto countered the powerbomb, but then Wardlow recovered from that, and he hit him with the powerbomb anyway. So he was getting ready to do that slam move that had happened on Dark this week. After Nick Comoroto countered the powerbomb, Wardlow reversed that into the powerbomb, and Shawn Spears was just marking out, going crazy, like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. And then all the fans are asking for the powerbomb of Symphony, and he's like, dun, 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 and then picks him up, powerbombs him. That was number 2. And then he says, screw it, does 3 in a row on him, powerbombs him to hell, stands on him, pins him for the 1, 2, 3, and just does his badass pose. Then, in turn, we get Shawn Spears coming in, because Aaron Solo was going to jump onto Wardlow. Wardlow catches him and was getting ready to power bomb him. He was turning him and put him up. And as he had him up like this, Shawn Spears got the chair and smacks Aaron Solo in the back. And he looks at his hands, goes, what the hell? He's getting really mad at Shawn Spears. Still waiting for this turn to happen, by the way. And then then Shawn Spears picks the mic up and goes, I told you, man, it's not getting over. No one's enjoying the powerbomb. And everyone's chanting one more time because they want him to powerbomb him. And he goes, you got to stop doing the powerbomb. And Taz is loving this because Taz, this was for the Revolution ladder match at Revolution. So he qualified for ladder match with this win. No, he didn't. Sorry. He was talking about when he qualified how he was going to take on Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. The qualifying match was the final match tonight. How he has to take on them, and Shawn Spears is telling him, listen, you got to lose the powerbomb. So Taz is loving the fact that he's telling Shawn Spears that Shawn is telling Wardlow to lose the powerbomb, and Wardlow is kind of like gritting his teeth. He goes, man, I love you. MJF loves you. We love you, man. And he hugs him, and Wardlow's just like standing there, like just really, really angry. And he really wants the powerbomb. The fans want the powerbomb, but he's telling them that the powerbomb isn't over, which means no one likes it. You got to lose it. I've been telling you for months to lose it. And that's basically how it ended. And Wardlow just stands there really, really angry. It was, again, really well played. I was really waiting for Wardlow to powerbomb Spears, but eventually it will come. Then it was Serena Deeb's 5-minute challenge. And this week was Kayla Sparks. She just destroyed her. She just toyed with her, threw her up on the up in the turnbuckle in the corner, put her knees around the ropes and then around her waist and took her back and bent her. I mean, you have to see what she did. And then she took her knee and wrapped it around the ring post bar that connects the post in the corner and wrapped it around there and then stretched her out again and then just put her in a Serenity Lock and she tapped out within seconds. Obviously, squash match. That's what we're doing with the professor, her 5-minute squash match challenge. But it's funny because they call it the 5-minute rookie challenge. And they pointed out that Kayla Sparks has 15 plus years of experience on her side and Serena Deeb still destroyed her. So I don't know if that's showing you that she has that experience and it hasn't really helped. Or they're just saying Serena Deeb is just that dominating. So I missed, it was either before or after this match. Maybe it was after this match. It was Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa for the contract signing. We got that finally. This was a typical contract signing. Thunder Rosa basically, I'm pretty sure she called her a bitch in Spanish. Not fully up on my Spanish. I apologize for that. But I'm pretty sure that's what she called Britt Baker there. So she said here, and then sign it real quick, just up and sign it. Basically, said, Britt Baker, you're nothing, and da-da-da. So Britt Baker has the opportunity to respond back, and she says, you don't hate me, you love me. You hate yourself because you want to be me. Just playing off all this stuff, and you had fans in the background that were yelling at Jamie Hayter and Rebel. Gosh, so I'm talking about Rebel. And they were shushing them, and they were shushing back, and it was just hilarious stuff in the background. But Britt Baker basically is calling out saying, hey, listen, you beat me. You beat me in the lights out match. You were the winner. You know, great, good for you. But who are they talking about? They're talking about me. Who got the action figure? I did. Who has a shirt? Who's still relevant? I am, not you. You've been fighting, crawling from the back, but you won the match, but I'm the one they're talking about. You're going to win this title. It's going to mean nothing because you don't have anything because you are nothing. And all this stuff and how she's jealous of her and how Thunder Rosa wants to be Britt Baker and she can't be Britt Baker because Britt Baker is Britt Baker. Really great promo. Again, I mean, just to see what she said, but basically it sums up what she said. And then signs the contract. Thunder Rosa jumps across the table, pounds her. Then Jamie Hayter rips her off, beats up Thunder Rosa. Mercedes Martinez comes out for the save, knocks out Rebel, gets into the ring, grabs Hayter by the back of the hair, pulls her. Hayter stops, turns and looks, goes, turns around back, hits Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa punches her, and then Mercedes Martinez picks her up and just slams her through the table right there because you have to go through the table. It's a contract signing, but puts her up and oh my gosh, I can't think what the slam's called, but slams her into the table and just Thunder Rosa holds the belt up, all happy, which usually doesn't mean she's going to win the belt, but I still think she's going to win the belt this time around. And Mercedes Martinez just looking angry and just a beast and just looking great up there. So can't wait to see what that comes of. I still expecting to see a tag match before this. We still have Dynamite next week. That could be what it was. I don't remember seeing previous what was happening on Dynamite next week besides for another qualifying match is happening next week. I think they said Scorpio Sky. Scorpio Sky also did a promo and he said, Tony Khan said, you have a chance to qualify for the Face of the Revolution and to get in the Face of the Revolution. He said, I shouldn't do that because I'm undefeated, 365 days on stuff. And he says, don't worry, I'm going to let you. But he got his head out of his ass and he'll make sure that you have a title shot before the winner of the Face of the Revolution has a title shot. So that's where they are with all of that. And then we get to the Face of the Revolution ladder match. Qualifying match, and it's Orange Cassidy versus Anthony Bowens. Anthony Bowens is a phenomenal wrestler, and he put on a great solo singles match again. He's been doing phenomenal singles matches recently. He originally came into the company as a single star before he got signed as the Acclaimed. This was probably one of Max Caster's weakest raps because he was offbeat. I don't know if it was on purpose or they cut off what he was saying and because it was edited or what, but they definitely changed it. I think the funny, not the funny part, but it was like it was so off kiltered. He said, "You guys are the best friends, right? But why don't you have any black friends or something like that?" But like that was like the only like line, I guess you could say, that he really had. There was no like real one-liners that he really had that were up there. So it was probably one of his weakest ones, and it didn't help the fans weren't like behind it. Even when the fans were booing, like they were just really excessive in this one. He did have a good line about Connecticut. I want to say he did, but it got overshadowed with the boos, I think. But there was that, and Anthony Bowens, Bridgeport, the Acclaimed have arrived. Everyone goes crazy. They had some great back and forth. Castro tried to cause distraction. He got his chain and punched Wheeler Yuta in the face. In all this, he grabbed the mic. Oh, that was it. To start the match, he goes to Orange Cassidy, spit something. He goes, yo. Puts the mic to Castro's shins as he does kicks him. He dodges out of that. Castro gets out the ring, and then he hits Bowens, and then he goes, word to your mother. And the fans go crazy, and then he dives out the ring on Anthony Bowens. Great back and forth. Anthony Bowens has a lot of moves that you don't see any other wrestler do. It's like he invented them, and then Jericho's the one who points that out. I think it was, pretty sure Jericho or Taz, one of them did, and Jericho said that he's gonna have a long career here in AEW because he's coming up with his own moves and looking great doing it and just performing them well and making everything look really, really good. Then they had the boombox got thrown into the ring, which is going to cause a strategy for Cassidy, then hit Cassidy. Cassidy dodged that one. He kept finding ways to escape and all that kind of stuff. Then he gets thrown to the outside, right? He went to the outside. Anthony Bowens was in the ring talking to the ref, basically distracting the ref because Cassidy was going to hit Cassidy with the chain this time because he grabbed the chain around his hands, and this guy in a hoodie and a mask shows up behind him, and it stops Cassidy's tracks, turns around, and who is it? None other than Danhausen. Danhausen puts the curse on him. Jeff's favorite wrestler of all time, Danhausen, and puts the curse on him. He gets orange punched. Cassidy gets orange punched. He slides into the ring. Bowens and him do an exchange. He hits the orange punch on Bowens and pins him for the 1-2-3, and he's heading to Revolution in the ladder match. So now we have Ricky Starks, Orange Cassidy, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Keith Lee. I think they said there's 7. So if they do a qualifying match each night, that means you'd have 7. And if they're making a surprise 8th, or they're only doing a qualifying match, either Dynamite or Rampage, and the surprise is the 7th. But I'm pretty sure they said there's 7. So we'll see who comes into play, who it may be. Cesaro. I'm hoping Cesaro. He did not have a non-compete clause, so he is available to wrestle for any promotion. And if it's anyone, I think it's going to be a great promotion for him to come into. Gets entered into this after Moxley and Bryan Danielson have their fight, and they become a duo. You add Cesaro to the mix, make it a trios. And then eventually we have a trios belt in the next couple of months. Maybe by the 4th-year anniversary of Dynamite, we'll see the introduction of the trios titles. It'd be great. Tony Khan, just putting it out there. Tony Khan also has a huge announcement next week on Dynamite. So we're going to see what that huge announcement is. Is it, hey, Cesaro is in the match, or is it this maybe all promotional minus WWE pay-per-view that they're looking to do? They also announced that Double or Nothing is going back to Las Vegas, and it's actually in 2 months. Well, 2 months from, not even 2 months from a little over 2 months from the pay-per-view of Revolution. It's in May. It's May 29th. So they're doing Dynamite, Rampage, pay-per-view. So kind of like Chicago, they may be drained by the end of that. And it's going to be 2 hours, an hour, and then 3 hours plus the pre-show stuff of Dark and Dark Elevation that they'll be taping. So we'll see how all that goes. But, we had a very, very well planned out Rampage. Things hit where they're supposed to hit. They closed some gaps where they had to close gaps. And all in all, another great episode. It was easy. It was an easy watch as always. They're throwing that fourth match in there, but if they're going to keep throwing the Serena Deeb 5-minute challenge in there as the squash match, I'm okay with it. It kind of can be there for now for having 4 matches. You have a great starting match with that Andrade and Sammy match. You're going to get finishing match with the Orange Cassidy, Anthony Bowens match. They did a contract signing in the middle, and they had the Nick Camarado Wardlow match. So again, and that wasn't a squash match. It was good, some good back and forth. It was a short match. I think maybe 8 minutes it went. I'd be pushing it. Probably definitely Wardlow's longest match we've seen so far, though. But all in all, great show. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, like I said at the beginning of the video. Jeff will be back with a news review at the beginning of the week or the middle of the week, depending on when news hits and everything he's summed up. Usually it's Mondays he drops it, but be on the lookout for that. Tuesday nights, usually, maybe Wednesday morning, depending on how my week's going. I will have a YouTube's review for you, which will be Dark Elevation Dark, and then I will also be connecting the dots with BTE and Sammy Guevara's vlog because they throw hints in both of those, which do transition into Rampage, Dark and Dark Elevation, which do transition into Dynamite and Rampage as we saw tonight with Matt Hardy, who's been hinting for a few weeks now, and it's hit BTE, it's hit Dark and Dark Elevation, and now it's coming full force here again. So, like I said, if you guys don't have time to watch it, that's why I'm here. That's why Jeff's here to watch it for you, and we put it together for you and make it all one big thing so that you guys can understand what's going on, so you can see where you may be missing some gaps, why this story doesn't make sense to you, or where you may be falling short. Well, we're here to put it all together into one small package for you. Some videos are longer than this. It's not technically a small one. This one ran a little bit over 20. But again, thank you again for tuning in tonight, and we will see you for the news or the Dark Elevation reviews before we get to Dynamite next week. So everyone, take it easy. Peace.